Hola amigos, my name is Pablo Miguel and I'm going to be predicting WWE Payback in this brand new series called Pablo vs Twitter. Because, let's face it, everyone thinks they could do it better. The way in which this series is going to work is I'm going to predict WWE pay-per-view results, whilst on my Twitter, at Pablo the Lucha, I'm going to put out polls and see what Twitter thinks the results will be. I've also been recording statistics from WWE Raw, so I'm going to include them in the competition, and at the end of next year, WrestleMania 33, we're going to see who's performed better, me, the statistics, or Twitter. So let's jump straight into it. The first match is the kickoff show, Kalisto vs Ryback for the United States Championship. For me, this is just a WrestleMania rematch. There's been no promotion at all about this match. Maybe stuff has happened on SmackDown, I've not seen SmackDown. I'm gonna go with Kalisto because there's been no build up to this match. Kalisto wins for me. Statistically speaking, Kalisto appeared once on Raw and lost his match. Ryback hasn't appeared on Raw yet since WrestleMania, so statistically speaking, Ryback has a better win-loss ratio. And on Twitter, the polls said Ryback would win the title. 60% of you voted for that. The next match is the #1 contenders tournament for the tag team titles. We have two brand new teams, Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillians. For me, Enzo and Cass, they have more about them. They're on fire really. That means it's gold. New Day versus Enzo and Cass will be great matches and the fans will love it. But for me, the Vaudevillians, unless they win, are going to sort of fade into obscurity. Enzo and Cass can have feuds with other superstars. The Vaudevillians, they can't. Part of me would love to see both teams sort of draw and advance and have a three-way match for the tag team titles. That would be the best case scenario. But if I had to guess, I think I'd say the Vaudevillians are gonna win this. So for match 2, I'm predicting the Vaudevillians. On WWE Raw, Enzo and Cass and the Vaudevillians have both won one match and had one match. They both have the same record, so I think it's only fair to say that somehow both teams are gonna advance to the finals. The match will be a draw. And in regards to Twitter, 60% of people thought that the Vaudevillians would win. So that's Twitter's result. The next match is Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Dolph Ziggler doesn't have any stock in the WWE. Baron Corbin is a new guy who's come up, they've pushed him well. He hasn't lost a match since WrestleMania, since his debut. I don't see his first loss being to Dolph Ziggler. That being said, it could be a DQ ending to continue this feud. This one's hard to call. If I had to go with it though, I feel like WWE are behind Baron Corbin. So I'm going to predict Baron Corbin to win his match against Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler and Corbin faced each other once on Monday Night Raw since WrestleMania, and the match ended in a draw, a double countout. However, Baron Corbin has faced other superstars on Raw and he won his match, so statistically speaking, Baron Corbin will defeat Dolph Ziggler at WWE Payback. However, Twitter believes that it's gonna be a draw, a no contest. Match number 4, Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. This is shaping up to be a really good match. I personally would love to see Dean Ambrose win. I'm firmly behind him. However, for me, Chris Jericho's character is very much, I want to bury people, I'm better, and I'm gonna squash younger talent. I believe storyline wise, the WWE will let Chris Jericho win his match at Payback. Chris Jericho to beat Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose has had one match on Raw and he won it. Chris Jericho on the other hand has had 2 matches on Raw and he won one and he lost one. So Dean Ambrose has a better win ratio, he's unbeaten since WrestleMania. So the statistics say Dean Ambrose will beat Chris Jericho. And surprisingly on Twitter, 100% of you believe that Dean Ambrose will beat Chris Jericho. That's pretty confident. The 5th match I have down is The Miz versus Cesaro for the Intercontinental Championship. I feel like this is a feud that could continue for quite a while, and in order to do so, The Miz has to have a lengthy run with the Intercontinental Championship. I feel like it's too soon for him to lose it, especially off of the back of Zack Ryder losing it. They're trying to build up this championship to have a lot of integrity, and I think that The Miz needs to keep his title for a little bit longer. I'm saying The Miz will beat Cesaro and retain his Intercontinental Championship. Statistically speaking, The Miz has won 1 match on Raw and lost 1 match on Raw, whereas Cesaro has won 2 and lost only 1. The statistics predict Cesaro will win and become the new champion. Twitter thought so too, but only 50% of you. The other 50% thought it was going to be a draw or a no contest. Therefore, Twitter thinks it'll be a draw or a no contest. Match number 6 is a big one, okay? Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Now, I know that Kevin Owens hasn't won a match since WrestleMania. Sami Zayn, on the other hand, has won a couple. He's lost 1, I think. For me, the way that they are building up this feud is that it's going to go on for a long time, so I don't expect there to be any other sort of ending to this. For me, the storyline needs to have Kevin Owens be an absolute douchebag to Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn needs to be this underdog fighter who is seeking redemption. So for me, Kevin Owens is gonna walk away with a victory at Payback, maybe with a bit of shenanigans, I'm not too sure. Kevin Owens to beat Sami Zayn. Because of Kevin Owens' incredible losing streak, he hasn't won a match yet on WWE Raw. Sami Zayn is predicted to win for the statistics, and also on Twitter, 88% of you think that Sami Zayn will win his match against Kevin Owens. The women's title is on the line with Natalya versus Charlotte. Natalya has won every single match since WrestleMania. Charlotte hasn't won a match yet. Both of them are submission specialists, so I imagine it might end that way. Natalya has proved to be a good challenger to Charlotte, but Charlotte's gonna keep her title and she's gonna extend that reign until another superstar, maybe Sasha Banks, maybe Bayley, is gonna come up and take the title from her. Charlotte is gonna defend her title against Natalya and retain it. Because of Natalya's impressive win streak, she's the favourite in regards to statistics, and on Twitter, 34% of you thought that it would be a draw or a no contest. Now this one isn't a match, it's a storyline. Vince McMahon is going to decide who controls Raw. Either Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, or maybe there's someone else out there who's going to take control. I feel like it's just going to be a continuation from the WrestleMania storyline. Vince McMahon is going to say, Shane, fight or pick a guy. Stephanie McMahon, you've got Triple H in your corner, and we'll see how that works. There'll be a match later on down the line, Shane or his guy against Stephanie's guy, Triple H probably, and the winner will assume control of Raw. It'll be someone else for the time being, maybe Vince, but a match will be set up. In regards to the statistics this time, it's hard to work out who's going to win between Shane and Stephanie, so I'm putting other for this. And on Twitter, 67% of you thought that Shane McMahon would be in control of Raw after Payback. And finally, the main event, Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. There's a lot of talk about the Bullet Club, Gallows and Anderson getting involved in this match somehow. It's a big match. People want AJ Styles to win. I believe Roman Reigns will retain his title. Whether the Bullet Club turn on AJ Styles, I'm not too sure. There's a lot of talk of Finn Balor making his debut, and maybe Gallows and Anderson will team up with him, and then there'll be a feud between Balor and AJ Styles going forward. I'm not too sure, but one thing I'm sure of is Roman Reigns will retain his title at Payback, which means that I'm predicting none of the titles will change hands. Roman Reigns beats AJ Styles. AJ Styles has been in more matches than Roman Reigns. Both of them have a 100% win ratio, but AJ Styles has had more matches, so that makes him the favourite in regards to this. And on Twitter, 63% of you believe that Roman Reigns will retain his title. And that's it. All of the announced matches for Payback have been predicted. These are what the predictions look like. I think the pay-per-view is shaping up to be a really good one. I feel like the results are kind of obvious. Maybe I'll be proven wrong and there'll be loads of swerves. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to watch WWE Payback. I'll be watching it. I hope you'll be watching it. Let me know in the comment section below what your predictions are. Who do you think will win? I'm excited to see how this series will progress. If you are too, then you can become an amigo today by clicking the subscribe button here. I hope you enjoyed the pay-per-view, and I'll see you when I review WWE Monday Night Raw in just 3 minutes. Because, let's face it, ain't nobody got time for 3 hours. Adios, amigos.